As an entrepreneur, my job is to study and emulate and obviously interview other amazing entrepreneurs so I can be more like them. But also, I'm building a brand. And so with my brand hat on, thinking as heights, my job is to understand other great brands. How do other great brands come into existence? What makes them interesting? How do they run? And how do they keep going year after year, decade after decade, and century after century? So, in my research, I have found so many great brands that I want to share stories of with you. And I'm going to start with one today. It's a brand you probably heard of. It's a brand you'll know well. But what if I told you that one of the world's most valuable luxury brands is actually a charity? We're about to show you a side of Rolex that you could never have imagined. And we're going to challenge everything you thought you knew about luxury, business, and philanthropy. Now, when you think of Rolex, what comes to mind? Luxury, prestige, success. For over a century, they've cultivated an image of exclusivity and excellence. Their watches decorate the wrists of world leaders, celebrities, and high achievers across the globe. Hey, maybe even some of you right now are wearing a Rolex as your status symbol. They are a symbol of absolute status, precision, and timeless style. But there's a secret hiding behind all of this glamour and prestige, one that might change the way you think about luxury brands forever. Because Rolex, a company valued at around $10 billion, is owned by a non-profit foundation. Yes, you heard that right. This titan of luxury, this pinnacle of capitalist success, is in essence a charitable organization. So, how is this possible? Well, it begins with an orphan teenager named Hans Wilsdorf. Born in Bavaria, Germany in 1881, Hans was orphaned at a young age. Now, despite this, he showed an early aptitude for business and a fascination with watches. Wilsdorf was a visionary who believed wristwatches could be both precise and durable. Now, this was at a time when really you were having trade-offs. You were either precise or you were durable. No one tried to do both. Now, this might not sound revolutionary to our modern ears, but at the time, it really was a radical idea. Now, in the early 20th century, when everyone had a pocket watch, wristwatches were seen as delicate, inaccurate, and mostly worn by women as jewellery. Wilsdorf's dream of a reliable and robust wristwatch seemed far-fetched to a lot of people. But, like most entrepreneurs we love, and the founders and stories we admire, he was not deterred. He founded his company in London in 1905, and it was originally called Wilsdorf and Davis. From the start, he focused on quality and innovation. He sourced the best machinery from Switzerland and worked tirelessly to improve the accuracy and reliability of the timepieces. In 1908, he wanted to change the name of the company. He wanted a name that was short, easy to remember, and sounded the same way in any language. So, after trying who knows how many 5-letter words, he coined the name Rolex. It was a masterstroke of branding, and it marked the beginning of the brand we know and love today. In 1910, Rolex became the first wristwatch to receive the Swiss certification of chronometric precision from the official watch rating center in Bienne. Sounds pretty impressive, I guess. Now, this was a major milestone, proving that wristwatches, not just clocks or pocket watches, could be accurate and reliable. But he didn't stop there. He continued to innovate, introducing the first waterproof wristwatch, the Rolex Oyster, in 1926. Managing international money used to drive me crazy, until I found Wise Business, the account for doing business in other currencies. I can hold money in different currencies and only convert when the rates are good. No more rushing to exchange at bad rates or losing money on outrageous fees. And my team handles all the payments themselves. I don't have to micromanage anything. They have their own logins, set their own limits, and I just keep an eye on things from my phone. One simple account lets you pay and get paid in over 40 currencies. There's no hidden fees, no marked up exchange rates, and it connects right to your accounting software. Whether you're paying vendors or suppliers in Europe or you're getting paid from Australia, it's all just easy. And that's what I love about Wise. It just takes this complicated thing and it makes it really simple. Your money's always secure with 24/7 protection, and you can see exactly where everything is in real time. To learn more about how you can use Wise Business to save time, money, and stress, visit wise.com/business. Now let's fast forward to 1944. The world was in the midst of World War II, and Wilsdorf had suffered a personal tragedy, the death of his beloved wife, Florence. In her memory, he established the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. But this wasn't just a memorial, it was the keystone in reshaping of their corporate structure. The second major move was in 1960, just before Hans died. He made an extraordinary decision. He transferred 100% ownership of Rolex to the foundation. This move would have huge consequences, shaping the company's future in ways that continue to impact its operations today. So, what exactly does any of this mean? Let's break it down. The Hans Wilsdorf Foundation is a private family trust registered as a charitable organization in Switzerland. It owns Rolex entirely, and a board of trustees oversees the company's operations. These trustees aren't owners or shareholders in the traditional sense, they're sort of like custodians, tasked with preserving Wilsdorf's vision for the brand. Now, this structure is highly unusual in the world of luxury goods, or really in any industry for that matter. Most large companies are either publicly traded with shareholders who expect ever-increasing profits, or, they're privately held by individuals or families who benefit directly from the company's success. Rolex doesn't fit either of these models. But here's where things get even more interesting, and a bit mysterious. Unlike many non-profits, especially in places like the US, the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation isn't required to publicly disclose its finances. This lack of transparency has led to tons of skepticism. Is Rolex really operating as a non-profit, or is this just a really clever tax avoidance scheme? To answer that question, we need to follow the money, as much as we can at least. While we don't have exact figures, we do know about some of their charitable initiatives. They fund scientific expeditions, support the arts, and provide scholarships. In 2017, they donated 100 million Swiss francs to build a new campus at an art school in Geneva. They also support various environmental conservation efforts through their Perpetual Planet initiative. But to be clear, they're not just giving money away. They reinvest heavily in research and development to maintain a position at the forefront of watchmaking technology. This balance between philanthropy and investment is crucial to understand the unique model they operate. Now, in the beginning, I said that Rolex is basically a charity. And well, they're not quite a charity, to be fair. They're more like a highly successful business that uses its profits to charitable ends. So it's kind of a bit weird. The impact of this structure is significant and far-reaching. Without the pressure of shareholders demanding an ever-increasing profit, Rolex can focus on long-term goals while prioritizing quality and innovation over quarterly earnings, which is basically every company's dream. The long-term focus is evident in their approach to product development. They're known for making incremental improvements to their watches year after year rather than chasing trends or rushing out new models. This commitment to continuous improvement has helped maintain their reputation for quality and reliability, the cornerstones of luxury. And it's also reflected in their marketing strategy. Rolex is famously selective about their sponsorship and ambassadors, focusing on fields like exploration and arts and sports. Now, these partnerships often last for decades, reinforcing the brand's image of timeless prestige. So, what was Hans thinking when he set up this unusual structure? Based on what we know about him and the company's subsequent actions, it seems he had a vision of perpetual giving.
Security compliance is one of those things that can silently derail your business. Not because it's impossible, but because most of us put it off until it becomes urgent. And by then, it's often too late. I want to tell you about Vanta because it fundamentally changed how our company handles compliance. They've built a system that automates preparing for SOC 2 and ISO 27001 certification, turning what used to be months of tedious work into a straightforward process. What makes Vanta different is that they understand this isn't just about checking boxes. It's about building trust with your customers while protecting your business. That's why over 8,000 companies, from two-person startups to major enterprises, rely on their platform. If you're growing your business and you know security compliance is something you need to address, visit vanta.com/secret leaders. They're offering $1,000 off your first year, and honestly, it's worth every penny just for the peace of mind. It's the solution you wish you'd found years ago. Use Vanta so you don't get slowed down by security paperwork and focus on what matters, growing your business. Visit vanta.com/secret leaders now and get $1,000 off your first year.
The word perpetual comes up a lot with Rolex. I think it's, really as an engineering thing. But by ensuring the company could never be sold or go public, He basically created a mechanism for ongoing charitable work funded by the success of the brand he built. So, what can we take from all of this? Well, first and foremost, it's the importance of long-term vision over short-term profits. Wilsdorf wasn't content with just building a successful company. He wanted to create a lasting legacy of positive impact. This long-term thinking has allowed Rolex to maintain its position at the very top of the luxury market for decades. Second, we see the power of innovation as a driver of success. From the very beginning, they've pushed the boundaries of what's possible in watchmaking. These aren't just gimmicks, they're innovations. The oyster case, the perpetual rotor, the parachrom hairspring. These are just a few of the innovations that Rolex have been coming up with year after year and at the forefront of their industry. Their commitment to innovation, even when they're already at the top of their field, has been the key to their enduring success. And lastly, there's the idea of building a legacy beyond personal wealth. Wilsdorf could have left Rolex to his heirs or sold it to the highest bidder. Instead, he chose to create a structure that would actually continue to benefit society long after he was gone. And this decision speaks to a broader view of success, one that's measured not just in financial terms, but in the positive impact in the world, in legacy. This model challenges our traditional notions of business success. In a world where we often equate success with personal wealth accumulation, Rolex presents a different paradigm. It raises intriguing questions. Could other companies adopt similar structures? What if more luxury brands committed to large-scale philanthropy? And how might this change the relationship between consumers and brands? That is the legacy of Rolex no one knows about, but the brand we've all heard about. It is worth noting that their business model isn't without its critics. Some argue that the lack of financial transparency actually makes it impossible to know how much of Rolex's profits actually go to a charitable cause at all. Others suggest that the non-profit structure is primarily just, a tax avoidance strategy. I mean, it is in Switzerland, so yeah, these are real concerns and they could well be true. However, even with these caveats, the model presents a fascinating case study in corporate responsibility. It shows that a company can be both commercially successful and socially responsible, that profit and purpose aren't mutually exclusive, but could actually reinforce each other. Rolex proves that it's possible to create products of high quality, maintain a reputation for exclusivity and prestige, and still contribute significantly to social and environmental causes. In many ways, Rolex is redefining what luxury means in the 21st century. In a world increasingly concerned with sustainability and social responsibility, perhaps the ultimate luxury is not just owning a beautifully crafted object, but knowing that your purchase is contributing to something greater than yourself. Of course, not every company can or should adopt Rolex's exact model. The circumstances that led to their unique structure, including Wilsdorf's personal history and vision, the company's success, and the specifics of Swiss law, not easily replicated. However, the principles underlying Rolex's approach, long-term thinking, a commitment to quality and innovation, and a sense of responsibility to society, those are applicable to businesses of all sizes and in all industries. And we might find some inspiration of new ways of thinking about business success and our responsibilities to each other. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. This followed my curiosity and my interest. I love this kind of stuff, but it's a test. I want to know, did you like it? Do you want to hear more about brands like this? Next Tuesday, we've got Emily Austin. She's an absolute whiz at PR. She even does it for my company, Heights. In this episode, we're going to sit down and deconstruct some of the most successful PR campaigns of recent years and understand how modern brands really capture attention in an increasingly noisy world. Please remember to subscribe. Over 97% of you who watch this don't click the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds, and the bigger the show, the better the guests. And the more I appreciate it. Thank you.